The audience can share their inputs with the presenters on how they can help them in terms of sales, partner connects, help with scaling, go-to-market, collaboration, all of that. So we'll be sharing that link with you on chat. Feel free to connect with them. Sai, can you just play the GIF?
Sure.
The audience can. Yeah. And after that, we will begin with a special guest who we have with us, a Shark Tank winner, who will be sharing his experience, and then we'll go with the pitches. Yeah, so for the audience, all you have to do is there's a link that is shared here in the chat as well. We'll share it with you. You can scroll down and view the presenters. This is how it's going to appear for you. You can connect with the presenters if you want to collaborate with them, partner with them. You can also let them know how you'd like to work with them. We would like as many partnership connects to happen. Thank you. Okay, so with this, Sai, we will invite. So we have a special giveaway for people who actively participate. Right, with this, I'd like to invite one of our Shark Tank winners, Mr. Abhilesh Gupta. Over to you, Abhilesh.
Thank you, everyone. So I would like to share our journey just to begin with. We started about 4.5 years ago out of personal interests. We work. What Ayurvedam is all about is basically what we've done is age-old, pulse diagnosis or Nadi Pariksha. We've been able to digitize it, and we worked with different, partners there, different hospitals, people, etc. And we've been able to sort of get it certified, and have been lucky enough to work with companies like Apple, etc., who've been helping us in UI, UX, and all other things there. So it's been a long journey. Started out, like I mentioned, Ram, me and Sandeep, we are neighbors here in Bangalore. And Ram is a biomedical engineer from IIT Bombay. I am an aeronautical engineer, both 25 years ago, and we've had different careers in different industries and as senior executives. Sandeep is a computer engineer. The common connect for us was one is being neighbors. Sandeep and I was playing cricket together, and Ram and I used to golf together once in a while. So, healthcare was something that was very personal. I was weighing about 107, 108 odd kgs about 10 years ago. So I took it seriously and started looking at my personal weight management. So became a user, so much so that I was able to reduce about 37 odd kgs of weight, and then got into cycling, long distance running, marathons, ultra marathons. So while doing all this, a lot of gadgets I started to use personally, be it from garments to Fitbits to everything. So I had this interest as a user. Ram comes from the very industry, and Sandeep is a data analyst, both in financial as well as healthcare sector. So there was this camp from Art of Living guys. They did this Nadi Pariksha. One expert came and he put his 3 fingers on our radial artery for 30 seconds, started talking about our health. So as engineers, this intrigued us, and with the different interests that we had, we thought of exploring it further. So story short, we were able to sort of correlate, dug deeper into Ayurvedic, the text, and were able to correlate all these Ayurvedic biomarkers with the existing Western health parameters. Came up with a solution. Same time, we got selected in Lumos Health Accelerator, which was started by HCG, the chain of largest chain of cancer hospitals in India, as well as Untitled Ventures. Until put in about 70 lakh rupees as pre-seed money into us, and with that 70 lakh rupees, we ran almost a year and a half, developed the MVP, developed all the videos, audios, text, all the digital content that we had to develop the MVP, develop the or filed for our patents both in India as well as in PCT. We're able to get about 100,000 downloads, all within this 70 lakhs. Then we got in touch with Mergerdomo. They helped us connect with Succeed Ventures. Succeed and few other angels, they put together about 2.25 crores into us. That was about 5-6 months ago. Around October, around August, this Shark Tank story started to come on LinkedIn, on all social media pages of Sony TV. So we also applied. They had taken about 62,000 odd applications, and then there was there were a lot of formalities, fill up this form, agree to this, agree to that, send a video. It was all going on. Then there were auditions in Bangalore, where we were about 500 odd startups here. There were auditions here in Bangalore as well as in Bombay as well as in Delhi. They selected us. So total 198 startups were selected, and we were all called into Bombay for 5 days. We everything, all expenses were taken care of by Sony. 2 days of pitch training there for each of the startups, which is basically, we are all used to English, and since the show is in Hindi, so, and it had to be a common Hindi, it could not have been very complicated Hindi. So that part they had to, the initial 2-3 minutes that you see of Shark Tank, the initial pitch is where they have helped all these startups. Aise bolo, say like this, make it very, connect with the common people, because this is again a TV show. So couple of days of preparation there. And then, all our pitches were also changed because, in Hindi, you can only say, you don't remember all the time what you're trying to say there. So anyhow, the day came, we were pushed into the tank. There were these 5 sharks sitting there. We had about 55 minutes, 1 hour long discussion there, which they show about 12 minutes on the TV. A lot of editing is done. A lot of discussions happen. Good experience. People understood. One thing was very good is when we finished our pitch, all the sharks stood up and, sort of clapped for us that, we've been able to revive this 3,000, 5,000 years old, in ancient Indian art of, health assessment science. And then different several discussions took place and all that, and rest what happened there post the show. And then what happened, another thing is that when the advertisement came on Economic Times, they said they will only show 90 odd startups. So first month, our first 4 weeks, nothing came, and we were not able to connect with anyone. All of a sudden, one Friday morning, we get a call from our investor, Aman, that your deal is coming on Monday. And we had very little time to prepare, but anyways, we could not market it or anything much. Monday, 31st January, the show aired. Immediately after show aired, within 10 minutes, we had 100,000 requests to download the app. Then it increased to 150,000 and our servers crashed. And then whole night we were staying awake. You can only do as much, you can't. And when you think something is going to be fixed within a minute or within an hour, it will definitely take 10. So one thing led to the other, one complication, then the next complication, we put a firewall. We thought it's a DDoS attack. So we put a firewall. Then firewall blocked about 150,000 IPs there. So it was a good, and people started, before the show, our rating was, we had about 170,000 downloads. Today, we have about 565,000 downloads. So before the show, our rating on the Play Store was about 4.3. And immediately next day, it came down to 1.8 because people were trying continuously. And when you are not able to use the app straight away, you get angry and you immediately say, this does not work. Aman wasted his money and all blah, blah, everything happened there. But we knew that, this is something that we have to put up with. Immediately, we got in touch with the AWS, with Google, we got some consultants to come in. Temporary arrangements were done. Today, we are in a much better position. Our rating is back to 4.6. We got in touch with almost 3,000 initial users personally, and we started calling all of them because these are the ones who gave us 1-star rating. So today we are in a much better position. A lot of investors interest in us now. A lot of companies are talking to us about tying up. So this has been our journey, and it doesn't stop here. We look forward to brighter days ahead. If any questions or anything, I am open to answer. If anybody has any question.
What's the clap for you, yeah?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Wonderful journey, very nice.
Yeah, it's been very exciting, to be very honest. The another thing for us is because we are in an age group where daily, monthly earnings and all that does not, because we have enough savings and all that taken care of, so we can really put in our 100% and can live for 4 years, constantly doing it every day, day and night. So it's exciting.
Thank you.
It's taking good.
Thanks, Abhilesh. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Welcome, Orvis.
Thanks.
Thanks, Avnish. So basically, I call it as a human survival for which you are working, and we also have objective of human survival. So thanks.
Can I ask a question, Hormuz?
Yeah, sure.
Avnish, just one curiosity that you already had good fundings done before you went to the Shark Tank, isn't it? So
Correct.
was there a need for funding, or Shark Tank was a
Absolutely.
medium for advertising, number one? And second,
Exactly, you said
did the shark really bite you? Meaning in terms of valuation, did they take away what you already had a valuation before Shark Tank, or it was same or better?
Same. We did not buzz. It was a long discussion that was going on. We did not buzz. We had our, if you watch the show, we gave what the current round was. So we did not buzz there. We did not reduce our valuation, nothing.
Wonderful. That's very good.
And,
That's very good.
And the exercise was purely only for, marketing, the downloads and all that, what we wanted to do, not for raising the money.
Good. Thanks. Thank you.
Vilesh, I have a question. Awesome
Hi,
job.
Sarita.
I just wanted to check on monetization. Are you looking primarily right now at just traction and downloads and customer engagement, or are you also monetizing these customers? And if so, what is the conversion like?
So the second round, that seed round that I was talking about, we closed about 4 or 5 months back only. So what we've gone into development of marketplace there, personalized subscription plans there, gamification of the app. So all that is in the plan. The first version with 70 lakh rupees, what we could have done is basically it was a showcase, sort of an app. It's basically a library that, these are the possibilities with this app. So we had enabled some subscriptions there, some services there. That continues to pour. Every day we get about 10 odd, subscriptions there. But again, those are still not personalized. So we are in next couple of weeks, the whole development is done. So yes, we are heading for monetization now at the same time.
So far it's all free. There's no monetization, but you're looking to monetize in the next few months.
There is some freemium content there. Some of the kriyas, mudras, meditation, some of the advanced yogas, etc., for which we have seen about maybe about 300, 400 transactions there. People pay $14.99 for a year to $2.99 for a month, $8.99 for 3 months. So it's 6 months. So there are about 300-400 subscriptions. But again, it is not to the level that we would want to give services to the people. That is happening in next couple of weeks' time.
Got it. And how large are your customers, primarily Indian or across the globe? And if so, is there a split?
So there is a split. We have 70% India. So first, number one country is India, of course, in terms of downloads. Number two is Bangladesh, surprisingly. Number three is Nepal. Fourth is US. We have huge downloads, about 20,000 odds in US also. We have not promoted in all of these geographies so far. And then Europe, then other countries there. Apple works very closely with us, so they are guiding us as to how to go to Europe and how to go to US. They have all the data from App Store. Yeah.
So great. I think at time we should also do an interview with you in terms of your learnings. A lot of great insights you have had. We will get in touch with you. With that, we would also like to take this opportunity to invite our first presenter. Feel free to stay on and also connect with the presenter. So we have Angad from Unimat, who will be the first presenter, and will be followed by Raghu Bhatt from Dear Water. Angad, are you ready?
I'm ready. Yes. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah. So you have 5 minutes to present, and followed by a 6-minute Q&A.
5 minutes, right? Cool.
Yeah.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, now it is.
Great. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Angad Ahluwalia. I am the General Manager for Unimat. And at Unimat, we are powering global commerce. Now, about a decade or two ago, right, commerce was very regional. It was very location specific. It was very neighborhood centric. Everything you wanted to buy, shop, source, do business in was within a small geographic locality. With advancements in transportation and wealth, we could venture further out and get a better selection, better choice, better price, so be it, right? Now, about a few weeks ago, I ordered this pair of customized shoes, Nikes, right? You could change the sole, you could change the uppers, you could, design your own. This got shipped to me within less than a week from a source directly in China, from the manufacturing site. So it was essentially, Nike has created a digital highway that connects the manufacturing point directly to you. that's the current technology that is Unimat. The way consumers are shopping and demanding has changed, and brands now adopting different technologies to adapt to that change. Now, essentially, in India, about 82% of commerce is dominated by Amazon, Flipkart. However, in the global scheme of things, the $5 trillion global e-commerce market, 85% is dominated by the long tail marketplaces and sales channels, like the Lazaras, the Mercado Libres in South America, the Lineos, etc. But selling on these marketplaces, these channels of sales, is extremely complex. And simply because the ecosystem is just very, very convoluted. You've got too many moving parts. You've got multiple channels of sales, you've got multiple languages, you've got web stores, you've got warehousing, you've got automation, business tools, analytics, payments, financial services, the works, right? And not to say that there's no one doing this. There are a lot of companies who operate in these spaces, each one being a master of their own domain. Now, this basically results in an extremely high cost to integrate everything you need to do to be a true omni-channel global player. Now, how often have you heard this from brands, right? I've set up my Amazon store. I've got grade A plus content. I've got a brand store. I've got FBA. I'm spending 2x my revenue on performance marketing, but my sales are not explosive. And the reason is because that aspect is just one part of the ecosystem. What most brands don't understand or know is that the ecosystem is what you see on your screen, which is why most people don't win on the global ski on the playground. Now, essentially, we've calculated that it costs about $100,000 and potentially hiring a whole tech team to put this together to leverage the true power of global e-commerce. So enter Unimat. Unimat essentially integrates everything you need from discovery, sourcing of products, till delivery. So every aspect of the e-commerce channel for global cross-border commerce is integrated and built on Unimat. To begin with, Unimat has access to about 25 to 30 marketplaces, always growing, and web stores that allows you to access 100 countries in less than a week. It helps you improve efficiencies and keep your costs down by consolidating all your orders of all your channels, whether it's B2C, B2B, cross-border, international, domestic, on a single dashboard. It allows you to consolidate and manage your inventory for all these sales channels in a single place. And it allows you to it uses AI to automate your cataloging. So you don't have to maintain 100 different iterations of your catalogs. This has shown that it's helped reduce costs, manpower costs, and operational costs by about 35% for some of our customers. As you scale, supply chain costs become more and more significant. Unimat allows you to plug into a global network of warehouses. So you can plug and play and pay on demand for the square foot that you use for the orders that you process in a number of warehouses in India, as well as outside in the US and the Middle East. We also have integrations with about 25 global shipping partners. This has given us a discount of about 50% on shipping costs globally. To increase top line and revenue, we use AI. Discovery and cataloging is extremely essential. Our AI tools help you optimize your images for all your sales channels. They comply with all the requirements of most of the marketplaces. So then a click of a button, you've got your image ready. Being discovered or searched is essential, especially in the e-commerce space. We help you generate descriptions and keywords. We help you estimate your demand as well through our volume estimator. And we also keep an eye on competition. So whether it's pricing or offers or discounts or new product launches, our tool helps you analyze what the customers or the competition is doing as well. We help you plug into various marketing tools. So performance marketing and marketing automation is also at your fingertips on a single dashboard. We've also seen that this AI tool and automation has essentially resulted in a 200% growth for most of our customers in the first 6 months. Just quickly, these are some of our case studies. The line on the left in blue is prior to Unimat, and the graph on the right is post. We have driven significant business, significant sales channels, managed catalogs slightly better, and helped our sellers achieve 2x or 3x growth in the early years, in the early months, sorry.
Time is up.
Sorry?
Your time is up. If you can wind up in 30 seconds.
Yeah, sure. So essentially, there are other players in the market, but Unimat is the only one that has all 6 legs of e-commerce. So far, we've helped about 240 countries achieve 15 million GMV, each one getting about a 24% annualized average growth. Some of our biggest customers outside of India is the largest fulfillment partner in the Middle East, which operates Mango and Zara. Our team, it's quite stellar. Shayak has effectively helped about 1,000 companies scale up cross-border. Everyone else is a master in their own field in e-commerce, on payments. A number of them have had their own startups and exits, me included. We are advised by the best from Google, Amazon, Disney, Mattel, so on and so forth. We won a number of awards from Techstars to Alchemy. And our ask is essentially 4 million. We have raised 3, which was our initial requirement for this year. We've increased that to 4 because we are adding a geography for expansion plans this year. We've just recently opened an office in the US. We are now looking at opening up an office in the Middle East as well. Some of our investors are Majordomo is one of them. In fact, they got in at our seed stage, and they've seen multiples in their valuation. With that, thank you. I welcome any questions, and yeah, fire away.
Yeah, you can have a Q&A round now.
So Angad, I have a quick question. So what is your current valuation?
The current post money is 16 million.
Okay. Thank you.
And Angad, what's your current traction? What's the MRR?
So currently is about $35,000, 35,000 a month, yeah, as MRR. Okay, so then
I have one more question. So where are you seeing most of the customers coming from? Is it from India, or are you also seeing the global customers coming onto the platform?
it's mostly India, because that's where we've been putting all our efforts into this year. But what actually has happened is because of the pandemic, we've noticed non-e-commerce centric companies, manufacturing companies, adopting e-commerce, and that's been a big chunk of our growth. So a lot of our brands are non-established brands. These are brands that you would not have heard of, but they've understood the pain in having the legs cut off when they can't distribute, when the retail stores are closed. So we got a lot of our traction has come from there. The second largest is in Saudi, and that's why we essentially decided to increase that raise by $1 million for this year and open up an office in the US as well as the Middle East.
So to my understanding, the product is not just limited to India, it's also global, right? Any SMEs anywhere in the world can onboard to the platform and then start using the power of e-commerce by shipping their product to 80 plus countries, right?
True,
80 plus country e-commerce website.
But it does require some localization always, right? So
yes.
You can't just transplant this platform and use it in the Middle East. You've got different integrations, different partners, different shipping, different warehousing requirements, different compliances for products, category rules. So it does change. So while the skeleton is the same, I guess the clothing is slightly different.
Okay. Okay, makes sense. Thank you.
Good.
But can you quickly take us through your revenue model? What's it like? Is it a subscription plus a take rate?
So essentially, it's a subscription, which is your MRR, but we also do a lot of solutioning. Now, because there is no one size fits all in this model, every startup, every SME, every mid-market and enterprise customer is looking for something different. So a big chunk of our revenue also comes from the initial setup, which is solutioning. So we customize solutions for them. So we're not a plug and play Shopify styled model. We build for a customer so that he's eventually happy at the end of the day. We've got about a team of 70 developers who are doing this day in and day out. And I can actually say that no one customer uses the platform as it is. So,
And what is your average customer what stage are they at? Would they be at like a 12 crore kind of only? Like, give me a sense of what your customers, like average customer. I'm sure they're but the bulk.
So till date, we have been targeting the SMEs. So it's about 1 to 10 crores is the turnover. Starting this financial year, we start targeting mid-market, which is 10 crores to about 200 crores. That's when the customization becomes a lot more essential. And we've seen significant growth from that aspect as well. In addition to that, we've got institutional customers like a fulfillment platform, the one in the Middle East. We can we can form the engine for any marketplace. We can be the back end for any logistic and supply chain management company as well. So it's a platform which you've just built on. But most traffic today has been from SME simply because the pandemic effectively shut us down. We were down to zero, lost everything, and the business kind of stopped. And then we had to recover. We took that opportunity to redesign the platform, to enhance the services, and e-commerce is ever evolving. I mean, global commerce is not static. So we changed a lot of our tools. We implemented a lot of AI for catalog automation. And last year till 2021 was about foundations. And I think this year is when we will focus more on revenues and customer acquisitions.
Thank you. Great job. Thanks.
Thank you.
Angad, I don't have a question, but yes, one point of view I want to share.
Sure.
I'm already an investor in Unimart, so I'm an interested party. Let me put it like this.
Okay.
But interestingly, I think maybe after you have opened up office and some members of the founding team shifted to US, one of course must be the agenda for the let's say fundraise. But are you intensifying operations in US in terms of revenue, and how are you finding? It's very early to ask this question, but do you have some success stories to share on this?
So as of now, we've got a lot of solutioning initial stages. So no customers as of now. I mean, it's not been, I think our founders left a month ago. The office was established mid last year on paper, but the relocation happened now, right? We got one co-founder over there as well. So there's a team of 3. We've recently hired an SDR team as well. So we are getting outside help to build that, build the customer base, but those activities are just starting. So like I said, this is the year for revenue. The previous year was about foundations and strengthening. In fact, the previous year, we've also hired 3 very senior people, myself, a new CTO and a head of growth. Prior to that, if you know our co-founder, he was a one-man army with 10 arms. So that's changed. So he's gonna set up shop and drive revenues from there, and we'll handle the foundational business from here and ensure that the revenue stake, the platform works. The platform is always improved, and we're catering more and more to SMEs, any D2C brands, e-commerce brands that want to play in the global space, want to increase their number of standard channels of sales, understand the ecosystem. We help you plug in and we guide you through it as well.
Thanks. Thank you. Thanks. Good luck.
Thank you, Angad. We have our next presenter, Raghu.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. So while Raghu gets ready, just like tell everyone that this startups have been curated by Merger Domo. So please go to the platform and register yourself. And for the next few sessions, we will have you, team will shortly.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes,
yeah,
you are.
Raghu, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Hi, very good evening. Raghu Bhatt from Dior. I represent Dior here and talking about circular economy today. We all know there is a need for clean water because we as humans and industry been polluting the water day in and day out. India emerging as a global manufacturing hub, made in India, is definitely increasing wastewater across. The biggest challenge is chemical effluents. Every day, 67 metric cubic tons are generated. Also, the cost of operating this wastewater is very high. So 90% of these industries do not invest, while they invest on the plant, but they do not operate it because of the operational cost. So that is a larger challenge we have. And how do we motivate these industries? Because today they have an easy way of taking care of the PCB and they need not operate the plant. That indirectly calls for more pollution in the landfills as well as the water bodies. Also increases the climate also. So what are the traditional methods of treating industrial effluents? One is ETP, which we all know, and second is the ZLD, zero liquid discharge. But the cost of operating a ZLD is very high. It also creates a lot of gaseous pollution also. So what is the solution for treating industrial effluent? We have to shut the industries or we have to treat it. But treating is not very economical for the industries because as a businessman, we are focused on generating profits for our business. So we at Dior help these industries focus on their business and we treat the industrial effluent by recovering the critical chemicals in the industrial effluent and also the water at the purest form, ensuring there is a zero discharge. And we also ensure they generate revenue from this. So till date, all the industries were only treating wastewater or spending money to treat their wastewater. With resource recovery plant, we ensure they recover money for treating their industrial waste. So this is the technology that we have built. Apart from that, we also take care of social impact, economical impact, and environmental impact, which creates local employment, ensures we comply with the economical impact, that is SDG goals, and also the environmental impact. So water bodies, landfills are not polluted thereafter. The goal of this organization or Dior is to convert ETP and ZLD to RRP. The whole world should be talking about resource recovery plant, where they not only recover the chemicals, but also generate revenue from these operations. So what does resource recovery plant do? So we have a process built across ammonization, condensation, separation, and rapid drying, which helps us recover the chemicals. A traditional ROI that the industry that he can get in investing in this plant is less than 3 years. That is a payback period. And if it is a highly toxic industry, which has a high amount of chemical effluents, the ROI is less than 1 year for the investments. So we have happy clients whom we are working with: Tata Projects, Apollo, KLE, Colliers. Unique about us, we want to transform the entire water treatment solution that is offered in the world, that is ETP and ZLD to RRP. And our solution not only helps them treat the water, but also helps them recover money out of it, so generate revenue from it. And they ensure that the PCB guidelines are met. Revenue model is definitely through sale of the product, AMC, and annual maintenance, service of the product, and also by supply of spares. So we have 4 revenue model. Wastewater treatment market is 5 billion in India by 2026 and 50 billion globally. And we aim to scale up globally in the next 3 years. Landscape analysis compared to the large competitors today, case study of Thermax, who is a boiler focused company, is also into water treatment. GE, which is a membrane focused company, is also into water treatment. So they have specific products, but not customized product. And our large segment is more into catering to the SMEs, where most of these organizations do not cater or provide any customized solutions. The biggest challenge why we have been miserably failing in wastewater treatment plant is customization. So there are not enough customizations or solutions available in the market, especially for SMEs. So what do investors get? First, more advantage, because we want to transform the wastewater treatment solutions that are offered and make it more exciting, so that industries get revenue out of it. Impact on environment, which is very critical, because in the next 10 years, if this is not taken care, we all know where we land. And definitely a huge growth who participates with us. This is the team. I'm the co-founder of this company with 20 years of experience. Seema, again, a co-founder with 10 years of experience. Srivatsava, 4 decades of experience in wastewater treatment vertical, IIT Chennai. And Major General Mirji, who is currently working with the central government on defense corridor, is also mentoring us in this project. Few of the accolades. Recently, we won. We were runners-up in IIT Mandi Environmental and Sustainable Challenge. They're also in the final list of Karnataka Elevate. Few of the incubations that we are currently ongoing. So this is the journey so far. We started in 2014 as Rudra Solar and Equindia Private Limited. We built the first solar-based RO systems where people need not go to the RO plant, but the RO plant used to come to your house where you could pump out the water from your well, lake, pond, and the clean drinking water was supplied. We also built a organic or a green solar farm where the entire pumping, drip irrigation, everything was run through solar, operated through solar. 2019 is when we started focusing on wastewater treatment plant, and 2021 was where we were successful in building a resource recovery plant. We filed a patent for this, India patent as of now. And we have 4 more products in the pipeline catering to the wastewater treatment, which are in the verge of filing patent. Revenues, revenue so far, we have been clocking 1 crore as of now. It's a capex oriented business as of now. And we have been missing opportunity of close to 50 crores annually. So business model in short, our key partners are Tata Projects, Rallis, Canegritech, Elegance. The focus is to build a resource recovery plant and ensure industries start treating water, which is not happening at a larger scale. So our ask is, we have not been funded as of now, so we are bootstrapped till date. So the ask is 15 crores to scale up our operations, growth, and take it globally. So this is about us in short. I try to cover as much as possible. Any questions?
Hey Raghu, first of all, yeah, like the product that you're building is really important for the environment, right? That's great. But does this have, for those industries already have some plants and things like this built up and kept now, will that be a complete infrastructural change for them as well? Or are you able to manipulate with that angle?
In fact, we see the entire industry as an opportunity. Whoever has whoever has ETP and ZLD today can adopt our technology. It will be just a process change that we would be adopting with a nominal cost. So it would be very easy for us because all the aeration tanks, settling tanks are already built. So it would be much easier and at a less economical cost, we could transform that plant to RRP.
Okay.
Hi Raghu, thank you for the presentation.
Thank you.
I have typically 2 questions. I think you're close to about 8 years old, started more as a solar and morphed into a water treatment business, right? So is the solar part still alive or that's been integrated into the water treatment now?
Solar is always integrated into the water treatment. Solar has been a vast value-added service because all our water treatment products need electricity. And we always have been catering to the rural segment or even the industries which are outside the outskirts of the city limits. So today, if you talk about a ETP and if there is no power, while there is a power cut, there will be a lot of poisonous gas that are generated. Today, to operate that ETP, the generator cost is 60 rupees per unit. If I adopt to solar, off-grid, it is 15 rupees and on-grid is 4 rupees. So it makes a good economics for an industrialist to recover their investment by adopting to solar and ensure he does not generate poisonous gases, which can impact even the birds, animals, which are there in the surroundings.
Sure. One last question is, sorry. No, I mean, what has been your revenue rate and what's your burn rate?
We are profitable as of now. We are a very thin organization.
Okay.
We have been clocking 1 crore from last 3 years. That's about us as of now, but missing an opportunity of 30 to 50 crores.
So the ask is for scaling up, is it?
Yeah, because most of the corporates do not give upfront advance. So that's the challenge we have been facing. We have all good corporates, but there are certain challenges.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll wait for a few more seconds. If there are no more questions, we'll go on to the next presenter.
Gaurav, you mentioned that your USP was you could customize and also sell primarily to SMEs, right?
Yeah.
But when you customize, it's great because you can run a business very profitably and well. But how do you scale it? When you have to customize, it kind of slows you down, right? It's not a cookie cutter model that you quickly move. So
no. Yeah, so we have 20 processes which are defined where we play within that. So customization is, see, water industry is a very vast subject and each industries are different. Today, dairy industry is different from a textile industry to a brewery industry, but the process that we have at the back end is the same, you know, where we mix, match and do it. So customization is not to a larger extent that we have to redefine the entire process, which is already defined by us. It's just that we plug in A, B, and C maybe for one industry, E, D for another industry. So it's a predefined process that we have, which we plug in for different industry, which most of the large scale corporates are not doing it. They're just offering what they have.
Got it. And what do you plan to do with this? So 15 crores you're raising, where does that get you?
Sorry, I missed, I could not, 15,
yeah. You're looking to raise 15 crores?
Yeah.
What's the plan? How do you plan to?
Yeah, so one, we want to stop the order that we are losing. Even this year we have quoted for 50 crores. So we want to stop that order loss, point number one. Operational scale up in South and West immediately, because that is a forte where we want to go very aggressively. And we also want to start implementing technology to this, because that is something we are yet to implement on this. AI is something which is going to drive this to the global level much faster. And that's where we aim to be play the global markets in the next 3 years. So this is where we would be deploying the funds.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So next, I think we can invite our next presenter, Pramudit from Ingenium. Pramudit, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Let's put you on spotlight.
Sure. Let me just share my screen.
Yeah.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, you can go full screen. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Pramudit. I'm co-founder and CEO of Ingenium Education. At Ingenium, we are democratizing technology for tutor creator economy through our B2B SaaS platform. So the first question comes into our mind, like, what is the tutor creator economy? In India, there are around 50 million individual creators, majority of which are located in tier 2 and tier 3 cities of India. These creators are like, these local tutors or creators who are teaching in their vicinity of 5 to 6 kilometers. These tutors can be anything. They are tutors which are teaching math. There are teachers which are teaching music and dance and yoga and everything. So we are targeting, we call them learning-based creators. We are targeting these creators which are located in tier 2 and tier 3 cities of India. So these creators are like a parallel education system to schools in India. There's a data that approximately 90% of students across India are taking formal or informal coaching or training. But for the past 2-3 years, these creators are facing a lot of issues. What are the issues? These creators are not able to scale themselves due to lack of funds. Obviously, they have a very small ticket size as compared to the big tech startups. They have a very small ticket size, so they are not able to scale themselves. Earlier, pre-COVID and 2-3 years back, they were teaching 50 to 100 students in their local vicinity. But now there is an urgency to scale because they need to increase their revenue. They need to scale up, but they're not able to do it because there's a lack of fund. There is geographical limit, lack of technology. These are not tech savvy people. And obviously, COVID and rapid growth of large tech startups have started eating out their business. So these kind of the problems that these creators in India are facing. So what is the solution? Digitization. Digitization is the only way to adapt, survive, and thrive. Current market scenario has made individual tutors to either adapt or perish. These creators need to adopt tech, scale up, expand their reach, and build their own brand. Because otherwise, they will not be able to survive in the current scenario. So what they need? They need a tech partner because they are not tech savvy people. They are like educators. They have never used iPad or they didn't use Zoom or Google Meet before COVID. So what they need? They need a tech partner which can help them digitize themselves, scale themselves, and eventually increase their revenue streams. So what is the solution? We have built a product. We are Ingenium. We are India's most comprehensive white labeled multi-functionality SaaS platform for individual creators. This is the full stack digitization platform. We have built our product on the 3 pillars: learning, management, and marketing. We are like a pocket size coaching institute or training institute. With Ingenium, now teachers don't need brick and mortar infrastructure. The cost of opening an institute before Ingenium was approximately 5 to 6 lakh INR, but with Ingenium they can do it with $100. So this is how we are transforming the learning creator economy in the tier 2 and tier 3 cities of India. Market opportunity: there are approximately 50 million individual creators in India. 300 million students are adopting formal education and informal learning. The last number is very important. Current number of digitized creators and teachers and trainers are approximately 1.5 million. So there's company Class Plus, Teachment, they're all doing, and they have been able to digitize approximately 1.5 million creators in India. So our total addressable market for next 3 years is approximately 10 million creators. So in terms of traction, we are third biggest company in this market. So what is our moat? Like, what is Ingenium's moat? So we are a tutors creators first organization with ultimate focus on product, service, and revenue. We are not just a platform. The platform is just a first step. We are into engagement. We are helping teachers to engage their students, engage students from across their cities, from across the countries. We have a lot of clients who are teaching students in America and Saudi, from Noida and Delhi. And obviously third is revenue. That is very important because these creators, these tutors need the scale up. They need help in generating more revenue. Otherwise, they will not be able to survive. So what we are doing, we are building features that will help these creators earn more money by using Ingenium. So these 3 full stack, we call it a full stack digitalization: platform, engagement, and revenue. These 3 are the pillars of our core strength at Ingenium. So another question comes: how we will increase the revenue of these creators and tutors? So we have made a 3-step roadmap for this. Courses, we just launched courses 4 months back. Okay, it's still in beta stages, but we have already seen 2 million INR transactions on our platform in the past 4 months. So that has given us the indication that this is going to work for the teachers. Teachers are selling the courses on their application through Ingenium, and that is helping them earn more revenue. The second step that we are still working on is the lead generation. We are planning to build an automatic lead generation platform for tutors. And obviously third is Ingenium Pro. We are in the next few months, we will make a Udemy like a single platform showcasing courses from tutors from Ingenium. So this is how this is a 3-step process through which we are supposed to increase the revenue of these tutors and creators. Traction, so this is how we raised our last round in the month of February 2021, and currently our numbers stands like this. We have grown a lot in the past 1 year. Following the highlights of what we have done in the last 4 months, we have launched a vernacular version of our application. We have increased features that drive engagement of users in the application, because that is something no company is doing in this market. That is personally I feel is very important for tutor and students too. We launched India's first white labeled web application for our clients. And obviously last is, we were experimenting with globalization, and we recently partnered with some resellers in London and have gained some initial traction. Globalization is going to be a big thing for us in the next 12 months, because it has given us clients that are at 8x price of Indian clients. So that is something that we are thinking that it will help us increase our ARR by a huge margin. So globalization is going to be the key for us in the next 6 to 8 months.
Time is up. Can we take the Q&A? You could also show your slides during the Q&A.
Okay, sure.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, is there any question?
Yeah, Pramod, thanks for the presentation. You were talking about tier 2, tier 3 towns as a target market, right?
Yes.
Yeah, is it going to be in vernacular or will it be in English?
Ma'am, it is vernacular. We just launched our vernacular version. Okay.
So how many languages you have now?
So currently we have 22 languages. Okay, we have made a platform. The architecture of our platform is such that we can make our platform vernacular in 2 minutes. We just need a translator and it can do it in 2 minutes. So we have added 22 languages, including the majority of our users are from Maharashtra, in terms of, and Gujarat in terms of vernacular. So Gujarati and Marathi is most used language on our platform.
Wait, just one last question. So through the platform, the tutor can only teach, or does it also enable them to play videos and all that as well?
So basically, it's as I told you, it's a pocket-sized classroom. Teachers can teach online. Teachers can upload their videos. Teachers can take online tests. Teachers can collect fees. Teachers can chat. Teachers can market themselves. It's like a B2B SaaS platform. If you have Ingenium, you don't need anything else. Before Ingenium, what teachers used to do? They used to teach on Zoom. They used to share documents on WhatsApp, Google Drive. They used to collect fees through Paytm or Google Pay. So, they were using 8-9 product before Ingenium. But with us, they need a single platform. And it is white label too. So we don't provide an application of Ingenium. It's a white label application. So suppose if you have a institute called ABC Institute, we provide with that name, the application with that name. So this is like a single platform.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Pramudit, till now, and who are the investors? Can you share?
Yeah. So these are our current investors. Our first investor is IN. IN has led us round in the last 2 rounds. Lead Angels, FAR, and India's letters. So it's mostly the network investors. So we have raised total amount of approximately $300K till now in 2 rounds.
Thanks.
Is there any other question?
What you do have today as a product definitely has a lot of competition around. What is, you're not going to be the first mover, but what are you trying to do to push to get that advantage over them? Because there are lots of players in this. There is no real USP that you are bringing. No offense, it is a good thing, but there is enough competition for you. So how do you plan to do that?
Yeah, so I'll tell you one thing. Ingenium is, if you know the market, Ingenium is 3rd biggest company in terms of traction with the least amount of money. The Class Plus is there, Teachment is there. Teachment is not into white labeling. So what we are doing is trying to do different is there is not a patented technology for us yet in this market. Teachment copied complete product of Class Plus and they're still doing great. Okay, so there's not a patented technology. But what we are trying to do is we are trying to beat our competitors in terms of incremental changes. Just like one example, engagement. Okay, not one single company is working on engagement in this market. We just launched our discussion portal. It's more like a WhatsApp kind of a thing on a platform, and we have already seen 40 million messages in the last 6 months. We launched it in the months of August. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to create an ecosystem. Other companies like Class Plus, Teachment, Admingle, these are just a platform. We are trying to create an ecosystem. We are trying to help teachers earn more revenue. And if we think that if we are able to provide a good platform with much more better feature, if we are able to increase engagement on their platform, and the third is revenue. If we are able to do all these 3 things, then we are going to beat our competition. Because currently a lot of companies have raised a lot of money, but not a single company is comfortable in this market. No companies, you can term it like a market leader. So Class Plus is the company that has raised most amount of money, but they are still not leading the market. They are doing 800, 900 sales per month. At Ingenium, we are doing 150 sales per month. They've raised 500 CR. We are just 2 CR company. So we are not very far behind, because we are doing our basic side. So we are trying to beat our competition on the basis of incremental features, engagement, and the revenue. That's it.
So Pramudit, I have 2 questions. First is, what is your current valuation? And second is, how you are different from the companies like Model, and where are you? What is your revenue model?
Yeah, so actually we have some annual. We provide annual subscription, quarterly subscription, basic and premium. So we have approximately 12 features. So we just play around with a different combination depending upon the time and everything. So the annual subscription is one of the common subscription that we provide. We charge approximately $200 for a year from our clients, and we have 85% retention rate, and that is helping us a lot. And in terms of valuation, we raised our last round at approximately $2.5 million valuation, and we are looking our next round at approximately 4. 4.5. So this is something that we are looking for. Yeah, I think that's it.
So you're charging around 200 rupees or dollars, correct me if I'm wrong. $200 from the tutors, right? Approximately.
So yeah, our model has changed a lot. We were a B2B2C company before COVID, and then COVID came, and the B2B2C model was very costly.
Okay.
Then we changed it on a flat pricing, and the second wave came. Then so now the point is, what we are doing is we have a very normal price product. But what we are trying to do is, we are trying to create a B2B2C model with different features. We are not charging flat B2B2C pricing with the clients. We are charging like flat pricing with our clients, and then trying to create. So the codes, the transactions are part of that. So in the longer run, if we are able to, currently we're a B2B company, but in the next 6 to 8 months, we will be a B2C C company, and that will help us increase our ticket size.
Okay, thank you. Thank you much.
Pramodit, I have 2-3, I would say, observations and maybe some apprehensions also.
Okay.
What you mentioned is almost India has 50 million tutors.
Yes.
So it is actually boiling down to maybe one tutor every 30 citizens in the country, number one. Okay, or if I relate to your 300 million students, so one teacher every 6 students. Okay, irrespective of subject matching and class level matching and all that. I'm finding, are you not, your product is extremely good, very, I would say, can be democratized in terms of this activity and all that. But maybe if you could look at maybe narrowing down the focus in spite of 300 million or 50 million tutors, every maybe 30th% tutor and you like to reach, TAM is apparently looks huge. But addressing to this entire tutor thing and their digital literacy itself, now every 30th person, when you walk on the road, every 30th guy you meet is a tutor, is something which is possibly we are either getting too defocused, or how do we narrow down to maybe little niche segment of the tutors? Maybe any thoughts on this? Because otherwise I'm finding the numbers are huge, but traction is so low. I mean, by this definition, the traction by now should have been, I mean, very big. I'm seeing only 25 lakhs of ARR, which you mentioned, is insignificant in terms of the market. But yes, you are very early level. So I'm not commenting on the low level of ARR. Maybe if we are more focused and little niche player, maybe say, let's say class 6 and above, or only STEM courses, or I don't know, maybe that would help.
I'll just, I'll just give you an answer. Just let me share the screen. This is something really interesting, and this is something we observed. So, actually, sir, we were very focused on coaching institutes 6 to 7 months back. We were targeting a TAM for 6 million coaching institutes, K-12 coaching institutes, for IIT, JEE, and medical. And that was our main market. But in the past 6 to 8 months, what we observed is, even though we were doing our marketing for, K-12 coaching institute, a lot of, individual educators were coming and asking our help, and they were using our product, and they were using it brilliantly. We were not targeting yoga teachers initially. We were targeting K-12, 9th, 10th, mathematics, science teacher who were teaching 50, 60 students. But it happened automatically. It happened very organically. So you can see that before 31st March, our ratio was 90 to 10%. And currently it is 55, 45, and these are our clients. Our 40 to 42% are K-12 coaching institutes clients, but we have also got yoga, art, professional training, languages, coding, music, and these are just organic clients. We are still not marketing our product for yoga teachers because we have made it for coaching institutes. But the beauty of that platform is such that we have a lot of astrologers. I mean, it's unbelievable. We have 85 astrologers. And initially, when we were building that product, we never thought that we are building for astrologers. So what has happened in the past 6 months is it's kind of a pivot. You can say we were targeting K-12 coaching institute is a very small market, but big in terms of the potential ARR, 6 million coaching institutes in India. But somehow it has increased to 5 CR individual teachers because it is organically. Now what is happening is, before COVID, before digitization, the cost of opening an institute was very high. it was like, you have in brick and mortar infrastructure, you have electricity cost, but now that cost has reduced with the Wi-Fi and mobile. So that's why a lot of individual teachers are coming, and that's why we took a slightly pivot. So our market grew from 6 million coaching institute to 5 million individual teachers. And these teachers are not just a math science teachers. These are astrologers, doctors. We have doctors. We have 40.
If you don't mind, we'll just have a follow-on meeting. After previous session, we had 12 follow-on meetings. Okay, it's a very compelling discussion. We have 2 more presenters, and our investors also have to go on. Right? No problem.
Sure. No issue. Thank you
for understanding. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
We have our next presenter. We have Avnish Kumar from Livensense. You have 5 minutes to present and under 5 minutes for Q&A. We're able to hear you. Are you unmuted?
Right. Yeah, sorry about it. So hi, my name is Avnish Kumar. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Livensense. I'll be talking about our product called GreenOps, which is essentially targeted for the net zero compliance. So let me just quickly take you through the product in 5 minutes. Let me explain you the problem statement which is there today, which everyone is will be aware about it, because energy intensive industries, specifically the petrochemical, chemical and metal industries, they are contributing to 22% of the global emission today. And this sector essentially has got a significant dependence on fossil fuel. Not only that, there is a talk about carbon capture to green energy, but essentially these are the input and the output we are talking about, but the whole downstream operations essentially still depends on the process efficiency and decarbonization efficiency. Until that is there is not much impact going to come in the carbon emission. And this is, we are calling it as a effective lock-in, which has happened. And the industry is still not having a solution, while we are talking about net zero to be achieved as part of SDG goals by next year, by 2030, and we are still looking. These industries have got no absolute solution today. So what we are doing is we are leveraging the AI and digital twins technology, and we are addressing the whole solution in a very holistic manner at the plant level, which is it is called as downstream operations. So this 33 gigatons, which is essentially all the industries together, out of that, half of this is generated by the 3 sectors which I mentioned earlier. Here, 2 key factors are there. One is the input electrical energy, which is what everyone and the companies like Schneider and all might be trying to address that. But there is one is the heat energy, that is the combustion efficiency, where the furnaces consume furnaces, boilers, and the heat exchangers. These are the ones which consumes 28% of the industrial and 10% of the global energy. The other aspect is the chemical. The chemical wastages are significant. That is because of the process inefficiencies and energy inefficiency in the whole value chain, which we call it as where is the need for decarbonization. So what we are doing it as an innovation. So GreenOps is essentially a digital twins metaverse platform that is built on the principles of energy balance, a holistic energy balance, which I talked about earlier, that an electrical, heat, and chemical energy. So we are addressing all the 3 and trying to balance it so that there is a holistic decarbonization across the value chain. So we do it in 3 steps. The first step is capturing the data from the various heterogeneous processes, which is all about, like today, the data is all there, collected in the various OEM systems, the automation system, but they are not utilized. So we are utilizing the resident data, and we are using it on a real-time basis. So we use wherever data is not possible to be captured or data has got too much of noise, we are using soft sensors, and we have plug-in-play connectors, which is being used as so it's a completely SaaS-based platform. And then we use chemistry-based models for production process and physics-based model for the electrical and combustion efficiency part of it. And all at the end, we deliver the outcome through process digital twin, which gives the prescriptive recommendation, so the operator need not be hooked onto the HMI screen for entire shift. he or she can just get the recommendation when he comes to his shift and apply those recommendations. So it acts as a cognitive worker or as an augmented worker for the operators today. That's what we are doing it. And this helps us to reduce not only the carbon emission, but improve the bottom line of the company. So that's what we are doing. So these are some of our success story. We have been in this incubated for last 4 years, and in petrochemical industry, we are working for more than 3 years now. And we have been working with few of the large Fortune 500 customers where we have applied the solution, and we have seen the ROI, which you're seeing here in the screen. So we work across a large ethylene plant and then another petrochemical plant in the delayed coker unit. And we are working in India with an upstream company and also a large aluminum smelter plant. I'll talk about the case of aluminum smelting plant. So this is what the whole solution works. As I said, it captures the real-time data from the various sources, does the real-time analytics with all the various IP solutions built into the platform, and applies the process AI models, which is like Lego blocks that can be applied based on the specific industry and a specific business problem. And finally, the digital twin, which offers them the prescriptive analysis apart from the complete real-time performance anomalies and deep dive to get into the root cause of the problem. So this is how I just wanted to show one of the solution where a lot of the large companies were involved, but we came in and we tried to solve this problem. This essentially involved reducing the ALF3 consumption to maintain the pot balance. And this was a huge cost for the company. And we were able to control the pot balance within 950 to 960 degrees, which is essentially not only reduce the chemical consumption, it improved the overall metal production. It improved the productivity of the worker because now they are not watching the screen all the time. And it also reduced the carbon dioxide, both direct as well as indirect, because direct is the anode reduction and indirect is that. This industry is significant because aluminum production is going to be in huge demand. The way this industry is changing, that after 2030 or 2050, there will be a greener metal, which will be sold at premium pricing. And that's what the future of this industry. So it's a long-term play, which we are seeing today. And we are attacking the 3 aspects of it: carbon tracking, carbon optimization to carbon intensity offset. We have plans even to the equipments which we are handling. We are handling today more than 500 different energy intensive equipment to create a blockchain for that as well. So that is what is our plan. And this is what is our team. We have got, I come from 25 years of experience and MBA from UIM. And I've been worked in Wipro and various engineering companies where I was developing various products in a nonlinear way. Priyanka comes from, again, Wipro, and Ajat is from Bosch, and Rajan comes from IIT Delhi and as well as from Capgemini. So we 4 of us, we formed this company, and then we have the team in US and APAC where we are already engaged today. So that's what is our team is. This is how we are doing we have made the whole business model in a plug and play approach, PaaS-based model, which is doing a pre-assessment, doing a small pilot with the historical data, and then deploying it in the customer premises. So we do it in 3 steps. Right now we have 10 customers between the US and India, 6 are in paid mode, rest are going into the pilot. And these are some of the customers whom we can disclose. Not every customer I can disclose here. And this is the TAM we are looking for, $200 billion market across oil and gas, chemical and metals. There are other sectors which we'll look in future. And this is our comparison with the various systems in place today, but we are not competing with the large OEMs. We are looking forward to partner with them. And that's what is, we have already started reaching out to a few of them. And this is our go-to-market plan, our acquisition. So we have not utilized all the channel. Right now, we are working with manufacturing plants directly. We are doing sale through consultants and system integrators. We are now looking at the reselling it through OEM licensing model as well and partnering with a few of the OEMs. And the other bigger channel partner we are seeing is SaaS, SAP, Microsoft Azure, and all these guys, because they are already our partner, and we are working with them in select projects today. And we believe this will become the larger partner, because SAP, for example, wants to have IT, apart from IT data, they want to acquire the OT data, and same thing with the SaaS also. This is our market expansion plan. So right now we are in India, US, and APAC we are building right now. Year 2, we want to even expand to Middle East and then to Europe. So that's what is our plan is. And this is how we are doing an outcome-based model, because eventually we want to move to an outcome-based model where we'll be charging based on the savings. This is one of the model which we are working on with one customer, where we per machine pot, or per, you can think of the machine, we are seeing how much of savings we are doing in terms of the chemical and the various other savings, and then we are charging it based on that.
Time is up. So maybe you can show the slides, remaining slides with Q&A.
So this is all the last slide. So this is the revenue which we have already made. We are close to $500,000, and we are working. This year will be flat because more or less because of the impact we got from Delta. But next year we are seeing a good pipeline. We have a pipeline of more than $10 million and a validated pipeline of 5 million plus, and that's where we are seeking the investment. We have two large opportunities: US, which is multi-million dollar, and we are looking for funding of $5 million. So this is what it is, and yeah, we want to establish and scale GreenOps as a brand in US, APAC, and India as a must-have solution for the industries. That's all. Thank you. So yeah. So
have you raised any funds so far, or you bootstrapped?
Yes, we have done $500,000 raise with a few angels. Recent round we completed with CIA.co from IIM Ahmedabad in seed fund. Any questions? I can take it up.
So is the team based all out of India, or you have part of the team in the US? Because if you have global customers,
yes,
and your GTM is through the channel partners and system integrators, would think that you would need some presence in the US. So can you tell us a little bit?
So, you are correct, Sarita. We have teams in US. We have few, one architect, one tech lead, and few sales guys in US.
Thanks. And this 5 million raise, do you have any commits so far?
We are in this discussion, where advanced discussion I can see, and but yeah, it is still not closed.
Great. So if there are any feedback, meeting requests, we will let you know. The Mojo Robo team will coordinate between you and the investors. Yeah, I think you're on mute again. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
So we have our final presenter, Swaminathan from SmartTail.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Just give me 1 second so that I can bring up the slides.
So you have 5 minutes to present and under 5 minutes of Q&A. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So thank you, Mojo, first off, for getting us this opportunity, and good evening to everyone. So we are called as SmartTail, and what we kind of do is that we do AI solutions, and then we are basically a decision science organization as such, and currently focusing on EdTech as a market. The product that we have is called as Deep Grade. In one single sentence, if I need to tell you what it does the grading of handwritten descriptive answers of students using artificial intelligence. So we use NLP, we use a lot of ML for our handwriting recognition, then computer vision, and then deep learning, so on and so forth. The main purpose is that the teacher spends about 40% of their effort in the schools just for grading, whether it's homework, whether it's classwork, whether it's test, whether it's exam, or whatever it is. And we are here to optimize that effort. We want to bring that 40% of time that they spend into 30%, save 30%, and give them analytics, give them data, so that they will know, the school will know, like, where do they need to do the remedial, where do they need to improve their students, where do they need to improve the quality as such, so that they can generate their revenue and bring in more students as such. So that's in a nutshell what the product does as such. And the traction wise, we are incorporated in November 2019, and then March 2020, you all know that COVID came, and then the schools were the first to close and last to open. And then we predominantly wanted to work with the schools as such. So it was a very difficult time to pass through, but still right now we are in about 70 plus schools wherein we are in trials and tryouts as such. We have about 10 paying customers. We are a team of about 20 people, both in Chennai and Bangalore. I sit out of Chennai and I work from there, and about 10 interns from different colleges as such. So the model is very simply SaaS. We only sell to schools directly. We do not sell to the students. Wherein we go to the school and say, okay, this is the charge per student per month pricing, and then we sell it to them directly. And then we are also opening up where we can actually open up to the LMS companies which are already working with many schools, where they do not have the AI grading as such. For them, we want to enable it through APIs. So in simple other words, we want to be the Google Maps of the grading section as such. So from a competitive landscape perspective, we do not have any competitors, at least in India. The only competitor that we have at this point in time is Gradescope, which is a part of Turnitin in the US and a spin-off of UC Berkeley actually. And the stage at which we are currently is that we have kind of established the need, and then we've kind of proven the product with around 70 plus schools using us, and then giving us the inputs for making our solution even better. And then and then early traction. So we now have people starting to pay for us. Around 10 customers. We have started billing them, and then we've raised the invoices as such. So we are completely bootstrapped. We raised all our funds through our own money and then friends and family as such. And we raised about 3.5 crore. And then we're asking for a seed round of another 3.75 at this point in time. The team, I'm Swami, I'm the co-founder and CEO. We have Aslam, again, the co-founder and chief growth officer. He takes care of business and strategy. I am more on the product and the technical architecture side. And then we also have Kanan, who's the CTO of the company. All of us are industry veterans with about 20 years of experience in the IT industry as such. So normally there is a lot of questions that will be there. I mean, how will you look at different handwritings? How all children write differently? In a class of 40, if there are 40 children, 40 of them are going to write the same answer in different ways. How will you grade it? All of these questions will be definitely there in your mind. So we take care of all of that. In the interest of time, I will not be able to go through each and every nuances of the product as such. But this is something which is on the deep tech side. And I have a small video. I'll just quickly run through the video very, very fast and show you how the whole process happens. So this is, for instance, the students writing the exam in the class in their school right now. And then what you're seeing here, this is a multi-page scanner where it can scan up to 40 pages in 1 minute. So all the students of the class, you put the whole bulk of papers within our scanner, it scans it out, and then the whole PDF is uploaded into our system. This is a SAS again. So after this will identify each and every student's paper individually. So student A, these papers, student B, these papers. And then it will start dissecting each and every answer out of the answer paper that has been handwritten, and then extract the answer and then start grading it as such. So once the whole of the grading is done, this is what the teacher sees. The teacher sees, okay, this is the question that has been asked, and this is the answer key that has actually been configured. And then she'll be able to see what is the handwritten text that is there, what has been extracted, what are the spelling errors, what are the grammatical errors, and what is the graded mark that is actually given by DeepGrade as such. So she'll be able to filter out something like this, right? When normally a teacher grades, she will take one student's answer paper, she will grade the whole thing, go to the next student, grade the whole thing, go to the next student, so on and so forth. But here, what she can do is she can click one question and see the answers of all the students in the class and how the whole grading has happened. So which means for an individual question, I'll be able to analyze and tell, okay, for this question, what is the performance of the whole class? And with the answer key points that has been configured within our system, how the whole grading has happened. So this is in a nutshell how the whole product works as such. We have just launched our beta for mathematics. We are also launching our beta for diagrams and graphs correction, all of these. So from end to end, so probably in another 2 quarters, we will be able to grade almost everything under the roof of the school's perspective. So post which we will also hit at universities, we will also hit at various other institutions as such. And more importantly, the government is also a very, very key or probably one of the biggest opportunities that we can get, because in Tamil Nadu alone, we have about 3,500 English medium schools, which is actually run by the government. So, and they have a huge budget for digitalization as well. And then Delhi government, Telangana government, and then the Karnataka government as well. There are a lot of interest on implementing AI solutions in the education sector too. I think with time, with more maturity of the product, I think we will be able to go and implement there as well. So this is in a nutshell us. If there are any questions, I'd like to take.
Okay, so the 70. Sorry, go ahead.
Please go ahead.
So the 70 schools that you have, are they paying customers right now, or is beta testing for your product right now?
No, so out of the 70, we have 10 paying customers. So the rest of them are testing.
And
so,
what is your pricing model?
So right now we are priced at about 25 rupees per student per month, which accounts to 300 rupees per student per year. But this pricing will go up to about 50 rupees in the next couple of years. So we are still entering into the market, and then we want to capture the market first. So which means that we want to keep the cost pretty low.
It's my final question. So the answer part of it, is that your AI solution, your AI is going to be figuring out if the answer, what the answer should be, and if it's right? Because maths, it's a standard.
No.
Okay, so
no.
that comes from the school then.
Yeah, no. So we, for example, if you take NCERT, we already have about 45,000 questions plus the answers, which has been pre-configured within our system. So the teacher can go and modify it. The teacher can go and add new questions. All of that she can do. But to start off, she did not add anything. It's like right off the bat, she can start using it.
Swaminathan, thank you for the presentation. I think it was a good presentation. See, one is two questions I have. One is on subjects like English, which are really descriptive, where there's no right answer. So, I mean, is there an AI tool you're going to build and strengthen? Because that also should, I think the whole system, education system in our Indian scenario has been the rote learning, right? So, but if the tool is going to promote more and more of rote learning and say this question, this answer, you'll have to match, then it doesn't work.
Okay, so 2 parts there, right? For example, two parts there. I'll answer the question in 2 parts. So first thing is that, is this rote learning completely rote learning based only? So no, it is not. So because when you configure the question itself, you have questions in these order, right? Remembering, applying, understanding, evaluating, and then creative. So we follow the Bloom's taxonomy circle. Now, if you're going to ask a completely, say, creative question, like I ate a pill, and then I became an ant. Now write a story on what are you going to do. Now there cannot be an answer key for this, right? Nobody can write an answer key, and all of us will have different marks which we'll give when we grade a paper like that. Now, but when you see how the grading happens, right? The grading is not done on just based on the creativity. The grading is done on what is the vocabulary level of that particular kid? Is the kid able to use simple and compound sentences? Is the kid able to use, say, for instance, the sentence style is okay or not? Is the punctuations fine or not? Then comes the creativity. Then comes the, say, giving the title of the essay or whatever it is. So, which means there is a good amount of mark or 80% of the mark that actually goes to something else other than just the creativity part of it. The analysis, for example, if it's going to be an evaluation question, say for instance, if you're asking that, okay, when I put mercury in my hand or when I put water in my hand and when there is a, say the fan blowing and then my hand feels chiller, why? Right? This is not rote learning, right? The kid has to still go back and dig out. But the answer is pretty clear because it's evaporating, it is going out. So it is, that's why I'm feeling cold or whatever the reason be. So that is again with intent and context. So how we are grading is very simply that we have a very serious knowledge graph that is actually formed of the answer key. Plus when a student writes, we also form another knowledge graph and we compare the knowledge graphs. So even if similar adverbs are used, adjectives are used and the constructors itself is changed, we still are able to capture those. That's how we do it. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, could you let me know, like, so the teachers, how much time do they still have to look at the answer sheets?
Yes. So for instance, if you take a teacher who's actually going to grade something like 40 students answer and then 4 questions each. So which means 160, right? The teacher is going to take about 50 minutes to do it. When it comes to deep grade, she will take about 10 or 12 minutes to do it. Because the grading is already done, she's only going to review pretty quickly.
So generally, what's the level of accuracy that you see?
So 95% and above.
Okay, thanks.
There's still room for improvement. There are some corner cases, but I think with time, this product will improve. The reason is that we just launched it. The product itself is November 2020. So, so it's just a year and probably 3 months old. So there is a lot of evolution that's going to actually happen with the product as such.
Is it available in other languages also, other than English?
No, sir, not at this point in time, because we have to build the NLP for the other languages. So we're looking at the Middle East market and then also Spanish market, because those are 2 huge markets for us. So which means first is the handwriting extraction itself. So that's something which you have to get for Arabic done. And then after that, we have to build the NLP as well. So we will partner probably with few universities and then get that going in that sense. But right now our focus is that ensure that the product is tested and proved in the English market zone, and then all the mathematics, the STEM subjects are completely covered. Then we will move on to those as well. So those are more of our, say, the futuristic goals. And we even don't want to stick only with handwriting because tomorrow handwriting might go and then all the inputs might be in totally different forms as such. Still grading needs to be done. Probably it could be a video. So now how could we grade a video and then give back the analysis and then give out saying, okay, this is how well the kid has performed or something like that. So that's more on the future side. So that's where the evolution would be. But still there is not much of data available. Every nook and corner thing, every new thing is something which we have to find out. Since there is no examples that's already done and then there is like solutions available, we have to go and find out. We have to do a lot of hard work in terms of sitting with the teachers. How do they grade it? Why do they grade it? For instance, grading diagrams. So if you ask a biology teacher, they will say the diagram should be neat. Now, how do you define neat? It's not something which is definable in numbers. And then how does the label work and how does the label spelling works? All of these are very, very interesting problems to solve.
Something on valuation, the ask and rationale. You have
yeah. So we are currently doing our the next round of valuation round. The finance team is currently working. I would like to respond to you at a later stage in time for this question, sir.
Ask.
3.75 crores, around 500K. So our mainly the ask need is that we'll spend about 70 to 75% of them in the product. We still need to build the product, make it even stronger. At the same time, now we want to penetrate around the market as well. So that's where 25% of the cost will go into marketing and ensuring that we are able to sell. So there's a very close-knit market. This is mostly reference. If you get into one school and then if the school likes it, then they refer to their friendly schools or the friend schools, because they have you have the Sahodia group complex, then you have the correspondence association complex. All of these different groups are there, and it's not like we do not want to get into the public domain as such and then start selling to students directly. We want to go through the school route as such. That's something which we are very clear about at this point in time, at least.
Okay, great. Vinay, I think investors also want to move out.
Yeah.
We have overshot the time. So we could just quickly summarize.
Yeah. I mean, ask investors to share about their takeaways. And
Yes.
also, Gaurav, would you like to let them know that you'll be following up with the meeting requests and
Sure. So a couple of follow-ups from our side, from Mojodomo and Dive and MSH would be, we'll be working very closely with the startups who have pitched today with all the investors who are present, plus also the larger ecosystem who couldn't join us in today's session. That's one. Second, all the startups who did not get opportunity, we are always hungry for more and more startups to come and pitch in front of the audience, in front of the investors. This online session is just one part. We work very closely with many startups and investors on daily basis. There's a lot of work happening in the background parallelly. Our team is present here. You could network with them. Radhika, Bharat, Ambika, Holmaz, myself. There's a larger team of analysts and sales marketing people who are here waiting to work with you for your growth journey and your funding assignments. So reach out to us. There's a lot of networking that's happening online and offline. I request you to put in your details, network with us, join us on our LinkedIn, so we could start connecting you to the investors as and when y'all are registering. So that's a quick roundup. Request all these investors to complete the evaluation forms. So that will be very helpful and handy to the startups, and it also gives us a base for getting the next set of startups ready for the following month. So that's a quick summary. I'll request all our investors and panelists to take a minute or two to summarize and give comments on the session today.
So thank you
Shruti,
so
can I
much, Gaurav.
request you? Yes.
Yeah, sure. So thank you so much. I think it was a good mix today. Completely different sectors also they came from. And even the stages that they were pitching for were very different. But overall, I think a good mix of startups, and the presentation was really spot on. They covered all the key essential points in the desired time, and gave a very good and crisp overview, which is what we really want from most of these pitching sessions. Otherwise, it's very tough to really say your story in such a short span of time. So I think that was really impressive, and definitely I filled in the evaluation, and I look forward to doing the connects. And I think 2 of them were IN a portfolio companies, so all the more good. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Shruti. Can I request Gaurav Nagar, please?
Hey, hi. Thanks for organizing the session. All of the companies did really well. It was a good mix of companies coming from EdTech and e-commerce sector. So all of them really good mix at different stages as well. So that's what I like about. So yeah, overall good presentations, and would like to, I've already submitted my feedback, would like to connect with 3 of them. Thank you.
Oh, super. Okay, thanks, Gaurav. I think Shweta and Dr. Lakshmi had to drop off. May I request Dr. Manoj to share his feedback, please?
Yeah, sure, Gaurav. I would say that the session was interesting. Good startups came. I think the other people have already given their comments, and I endorse it completely. Couple of things which I feel which Mergerdomo should look at when we are bringing the pitches here are 2 things. One is 5 minutes is too less. No, we can't do justice. People have to rush. Important points are missed. They have to jump the slides. Our attention span also is difficult. In between, we have to see the chat. We have to also respond. So it needs some very, very sharp person or an investor. Maybe I don't qualify for that. So we need to see that how do we link up all these things and still manage to grasp whatever is being said. So this is one observation. So I think maybe we can do 4 instead of 4. Let's do 2, but let's do justice to that. Second, give the founders the time also, because it's very dear to their heart. Yes, they can talk endlessly on this, but still let's define some structure would always be helpful, which are some must for the presentation. For example, not talking about valuation, not talking about ask, not telling the utilization of the funds, or maybe possibly the traction, or some of these things which are vital for anyone to even take the interest. So I would say that Mergerdomo should do a little more, I would say, standardization of the presentation. Of course, leave the product, the creativity and other thing to them. Many times it was so difficult for even me to understand what product, which industry, what numbers, you have to gather number. Although I was making active notes, but still it becomes very difficult to comprehend. It could be my problem. So maybe let's standardize, especially certain must in the slides. Or maybe one can end the last slide with certain key parameters, ARR, valuation, ask, utilization, how much has been already invested till date. Some of these are very fundamental questions. Why leave it to asking? Then if that is there, the ask would be genuinely on the something which either we want to go deeper into what they say or something. And everything, if we leave it to let's discuss later, offline, etc., maybe some of these things will drop out for just 1 or 2 questions and discussion may not go forward. So maybe little more effort little more effort from our side would improve the, I would say, success rate and make the founders also happy that yes, we could do something.
Sure, noted. We always give them a checklist, what they need to cover in 5 minutes and how they need to drive. But yes, probably a little more crisper efforts from our side will also help
last
them
slide, maybe
get
last
a better
slide
impact.
Is something, a tabular slide, what you think is a must for